Welcome, everyone, to a captivating short story titled The CEO's Secretary. Settle in, relax, and let this tale of ambition, beauty, and unexpected romance sweep you away. Outside, the Manhattan sun was blazing through the glass towers. Inside the sleek corner office on the 42nd floor, the AC hummed steadily, pushing cool air straight toward Michael Harrison as he sat deep in thought, staring at the stack of resumes and reports on his glass desk. Across from him sat Sophia Lee, a two-year-old recent college grad from a small town in upstate New York, here today for the final interview. Her eyes were fixed on the polished nameplate. CEO Michael Harrison, Harrison Tech Ventures. Sophia sat perfectly in his line of sight. The file in his hand was clearly her application, because he kept glancing from the papers back to her face. Nearly 10 minutes of silence passed. Clearly, landing a job like this wasn't easy. Sophia exhaled quietly. This entire week she had gone through 5 brutal rounds. HR manager, VP of operations, director of strategy, executive assistant to the board, and now the CEO himself for one single executive assistant position. But getting this far was no small feat. From the start, she had competed against over 100 Ivy League grads and top-tier candidates. Enduring tests in business, English drafting, typing speed, 80+, WPM, rapid reading comprehension, high-pressure communication scenarios, and crisis simulations. Every challenge felt more intense than her final exams at NYU Stern. Finally, the CEO spoke. "Miss Sophia Lee?" Lost in her thoughts, Sophia startled and sat up straight. Michael asked in a calm, measured voice, "Your family's all the way upstate. Why come all the way to Manhattan for this job?" Sophia answered honestly, "Because opportunities are better here in the city, especially since my degree in business analytics matches the role. It would be a waste not to use what I've studied." He nodded. 80 words per minute typing is already impressive. Sophia smiled. "That's not even my best. Back in college, I regularly typed over 100 words a minute, and I could crunch numbers on an old-school calculator faster than most people use Excel. Too bad now everything's automated, so that skill just sits on the shelf." Michael leaned back in his ergonomic chair, twirling a Mont Blanc pen, clearly intrigued as he studied the young woman in front of him. 22, fresh out of college, large expressive eyes, long lashes, a fresh and vibrant face, and especially that effortlessly messy but chic top-knot bun. Beauty sometimes it overshadows talent completely. One look and you're drawn in. Loving beauty is human nature. There's nothing wrong with it. The CEO smiled and looked at Sophia. "You seem very confident about getting this position." Sophia gave a charming, confident smile. "Oh no, but if I'm guessing right, only a handful of applicants actually make it to meet the CEO. He nodded. "Correct, only 8 people." The smile faded from Sophia's face. She looked slightly disappointed. "So I only have 1/8 chance? I thought I was the only one left." Michael continued. "You seem quite confident. Do you think you're clearly better than the other 7? "Yes," she said firmly. "I'm not overestimating myself. In the real world, ability is what wins. I know my own strength." Michael looked thoughtful. "Is this job truly necessary for you?" "Absolutely. I left my parents behind and came all the way here just to build something real." "Does your family need financial help from you?" "Not really. We live modestly. We're not struggling. My dad teaches high school, my mom is an elementary teacher, and I have 3 younger siblings still in school. Money's tight, but they don't depend on me. They just want me to stand on my own. They'd be proud. And if I can send a little back when I have extra, they'd be happy. Don't you think so?" Michael seemed pleased, but said, "You know, there are many young women out there from struggling families who need this job far more than you do. They have entire households to support." Sophia's face fell. "Oh, I thought you needed a capable executive assistant, not a charity case." She stood up, reaching for her bag. "Well then, I won't waste any more of your time or mine. I'll head to another company." Michael paused. "Which one? The startup on 5th Ave? What are you going there for?" "They're also looking for an assistant." I hope they don't run a charity and I can actually get hired. Michael said, hold on, you didn't know that company is also part of our portfolio? Sophia was stunned. No wonder Olivia said you're a major player in the city. Fine then, I won't go there. But surely your network doesn't cover every corner of Manhattan. I'll find somewhere else. Sophia slung her bag over her shoulder, turned, and headed for the door. She had just taken a few steps when Michael asked, Who is Olivia to you? A friend? Did you come here because of her? Sophia replied, Sort of. We're roommates. Michael looked surprised. You're so young and already so bold? He had misunderstood. Olivia and I share an apartment in Brooklyn, but she's a girl, 1 year older, works for Delta Airlines. Her family is upstate. She's my college friend and my best friend. I don't like calling her it. I prefer she. Sophia stopped, suddenly realizing she had said too much. Anyway, since I'm not getting the job, no need for a full life story. I'll be going now. Michael frowned. Who said you're not hired? Did I ever say that? Sophia paused, looking at the CEO with suspicion. He continued, You need to understand the job you're about to do. You'll organize executive calendars, draft emails and proposals, read and respond to correspondence, prepare expense reports, handle calls, type at high speed, schedule meetings with board members, investors, and even my family. All of that takes at least 2 months to master. Your office is right next to mine, just you. Starting tomorrow at 9 a.m., you come in. From today, you're officially on payroll. If you need cash flow, go to finance and request an advance on half a month's salary. Your starting salary is $75,000 annualized, but don't get too excited. I'm paying that high because the job is demanding. You'll have to work hard to keep up. Sophia was quiet, then asked, But you said there are many people who need this job more than I do? Michael smiled. True, but we're not a nonprofit. Sophia was startled, then realized, So that means I'm actually hired? Yes, but why me? How should I put it? Because of your skills, your proud personality, your quick mind, your youth, and most of all, your beauty. Sophia was slightly flustered. Beauty is a factor too? That's unfair. Looks are something we're born with. Michael studied her carefully. What's wrong? Are you upset on behalf of the less attractive? Sophia gave a genuine smile. A little, maybe. Thank you for choosing someone beautiful so I can text my mom about it. Michael laughed too. He was about to say more when the phone on the desk rang. He reached for it, then paused, turned to Sophia. Here's your first task. Answer the call for me. Sophia quickly stepped forward, lifted the receiver professionally, saw the flashing multi-line lights, and froze. She had never used this type of executive phone before. While she hesitated, Michael smiled. This is a 5-line system. Press the white button on row 5 to answer. Yes, sir. Sophia hurriedly pressed it, her cheeks flushing hot, a skilled assistant who couldn't even use a modern phone. She held the receiver to her ear. Hello, this is the office of the CEO of Victory Enterprises. May I ask, who's calling? I'm looking for the CEO. The voice on the other end was a woman's, sounding on the verge of tears. Sophia paused. May I ask who's calling? The voice sounded slightly surprised. This is Grace Harrison. Are you the new assistant? Sophia quickly said, Yes, 1 moment please. She turned to Michael. There's a woman named Grace asking for you. She sounds like she's crying. Michael took the receiver, thought for a moment, then understood. First lesson. Remember this carefully. The woman you just spoke to, Grace Harrison, is my daughter-in-law, my favorite one. That's all for now. Go home and be here at 9 a.m. tomorrow to start. Go on, let me talk to her. Yes, thank you, sir. Sophia smiled, turned quickly, and left the room, knowing better than to get involved in the CEO's family matters. Outside the office, Sophia let out a relieved breath. The area was the executive floor lounge, with glass-walled offices on both sides for senior VPs, directors, and so on. Naturally, the office closest to the CEO belonged to his personal assistant. Each senior executive had their own dedicated EA. Sophia thought to herself how lucky she was to have made it into one of the most prestigious tech firms in Manhattan. Walking toward the private elevator, Sophia reflected. The entire skyscraper belonged to billionaire Michael Harrison. Floors 1 and 2 were dedicated to venture capital showrooms and client lounges. Floors 3 through 8 housed various portfolio companies, and floors 9 and 10 were the headquarters of Victory Enterprises. Sophia pressed the elevator button. The doors slowly opened. She had just stepped in when she heard a shout from outside. "Wait! Hold the door! I'm coming too!" Sophia stood still, amused. A young man rushed in, arms full of folders, sweat beading on his forehead, muttering, "Nothing's right, nothing's right. These guys are insane or what?" Sophia glanced at her new coworker, a bit surprised. He looked very young, thick eyebrows, big eyes, tan skin, probably over 6 feet tall. So handsome, why waste it running files instead of being in a startup or on Wall Street? What a shame. Sophia gave him a sharp look. He caught it and grinned. "Hey, which floor are you coming from?" "I'm going down to the lobby, I'll walk you out." Sophia eyed the pile of folders. "At this hour? It's barely past 10, aren't you supposed to be working?" He grinned mischievously. "I'm escorting you. I handle guest relations, gotta see visitors off, right?" Sophia frowned. "But I'm not a visitor." "You're the new EA to the CEO, aren't you?" "Doesn't matter, escorting is part of my job." Sophia blinked. "How did you know I just got hired?" "I went through all the applications. Your photo was the prettiest, but seeing you in person? Even better." "Of course you got it." Sophia felt uneasy. "Are you implying the CEO?" The young man cut in quickly. "He's got an eye for beauty, sure, but that's not a flaw. Every guy here is the same. Don't overthink it." Sophia pressed the button. The elevator descended slowly. Her anxiety grew. "How long have you worked here?" "A long time." "You look so young." He shrugged, smiling, eyes dark and bright. Teeth white enough for a toothpaste ad. Sophia thought to herself as the elevator stopped and they both stepped out. Sophia asked curiously, "One more thing, the previous EAs of the CEO. Why didn't they stay?" "Got pregnant, then what? They had to leave." Sophia's eyes widened. "What?" "They got married." "Married means kids. Belly gets big, end of story." Sophia exhaled. "I thought the CEO only hired single women." "They were single when they started. After a year or so, they got married. The last one became the wife of the CEO's younger brother." "Pretty?" "Obviously. The CEO always picks beautiful assistants. He says starting the day staring at an ugly face kills your motivation. You didn't know? The one before her was even more stunning. Every guy in the building nearly had a heart attack when she walked in." He turned back to Sophia, appraising her openly. "You're beautiful, but honestly, not even half as stunning as she was." Sophia bit her lip lightly. "So where is she now?" "Married, like all the others. Every girl ends up on that path eventually. Now she's the CEO's daughter-in-law." Sophia suddenly remembered the earlier call. Was that Grace? Now the young man looked surprised. "You know her too?" Sophia shook her head, trying to sound mysterious. "If you want to be the CEO's EA, you have to know his private life and family situation, right?" "You know everything already." Sophia startled. "No, I know nothing at all." The young man laughed, then looked her up and down again, making Sophia a little self-conscious. "Why are you staring like that?" "Just imagining what role you'll end up playing in the CEO's family." Sophia suddenly felt angry and stopped walking. "Don't look down on me. Let me tell you, I'm only here to be the CEO's assistant, not to join his family." "Don't say things like that. It's too early. There have already been 3 generations of assistants. Everyone starts out saying never, but then fate steps in. Dare to bet with me?" The young man looked straight at Sophia. "What?" "I say, in 3 years, you'll be part of the Harrison family." "Never, you dare bet?" "But what are we betting?" Sophia said firmly, "Whatever you want." The young man stretched the words out. "All right then, I'll bet with you." "Meaning?" He turned serious. "If you lose, you'll be my wife. If I lose, I'll be your husband." Sophia spun away. cheeks flushed. This guy is shameless. Men around here are all grabby like that. See a girl once and already making moves. Who knows what the VPs, directors, and managers are like? Probably the same. The more she thought, the angrier she got. She shot him a quick glance. Dream on. He grinned. You think I'm after your money? No way. That's just honest flattery, very sincere flattery. What do you mean? Sophia was confused. The young man looked more rugged than his face, suggested charming features, lips that closed thoughtfully, eyebrows always slightly furrowed. He said, "Who says something like that the first time they meet someone? Don't be mad. I studied your application carefully. Every time you came here, I watched closely. I've never seen anyone as smart and quick as you. I was nervous, hoping the CEO would pick you. I knew you'd get it. You thought it was coincidence we shared the elevator? No, I waited on purpose. But a small-timer like me? How could I ever catch your eye?" With that, he turned and headed back into the building. Sophia stared, then called out, "Wait." He stopped. "You think I'm trying to ride the CEO's coattails? Wouldn't dare." Sophia was speechless. The young man suddenly asked, "What's your name? And yours?" "Everyone calls me Ethan Brooks. Just call me that." Sophia laughed. "Ethan Brooks, such a cool name. Why do you act like it's nothing?" She smiled. "No, you've got a serious self-esteem issue. You should see a therapist." The smile vanished from Ethan's face. "You think I'm crazy?" Sophia frowned. "What else? At your age, already a department head and still so insecure?" Ethan looked at Sophia, licked his lips. "I lied to you. There's no guest relations department at Victory Enterprises. I'm just a file runner. Now, you probably look down on me, right?" He stared into her eyes, making her rush to explain. "No, never. Being an ordinary worker is nothing to be ashamed of. You know what? During summer after sophomore year, I used to scoop ice cream at a little shop in the Hamptons." "You're trying to comfort me?" Sophia looked at him. "No, I'm serious. Don't feel bad. Don't give up. With your looks and charm, I know you've got talent. You'll make it, sooner or later, trust me." Ethan's face flushed red. He seemed embarrassed, turned, and walked quickly back into the building, calling over his shoulder, "Thanks for the compliment. I'd better go before you inflate my ego into a hot air balloon." He disappeared inside the building. Sophia stood on the sidewalk watching him go. Ethan Brooks, what a strange name. No department head has a name that cool. She really should have figured it out from the start. Sophia shook her head. Suddenly, thinking of the silver-haired man with sharp eyes, the CEO, and how she got selected. The morning had been full of tension. Now she had to hurry home and tell Olivia everything about the CEO, Grace, and this mysterious guy, Ethan. That night, Sophia and Olivia talked until late. Olivia wasn't particularly pretty, but she had a stunning figure, 5'3", knew how to do makeup, and looked incredible in a dress people always turn to look. Once the CEO even offered her a flight attendant job with Delta, but she refused because she was afraid of heights, dizziness, and spilling trays mid-flight. Olivia was Sophia's college friend and best friend. After finding a job in the city first, she convinced Sophia's parents to let Sophia come too. Now they lay in bed. Olivia quietly listening as Sophia built Michael Harrison up like a king of a vast tech empire, and Ethan like a rebellious Wall Street rebel. Olivia laughed nonstop. Sophia said, "Hey, you think I'm making this up?" Sophia shook her head. "No, it's all true." Olivia played with Sophia's bangs. "I know you love movies and novels, so anything you hear gets turned into a fantasy. But really? Applying for a job, submitting forms, testing, meeting the CEO, getting hired, and some random guy offering to walk you out, that's just normal stuff. You turned it into epic drama with department heads turning into messengers. I bet that guy's just messing with you." Sophia's eyes widened, suddenly remembering the bet with Ethan. "You know what? That jerk actually bet me if he loses, he has to marry me. Isn't that ridiculous? If I lose, I'd already be part of the Harrison family. How could I marry him? Hilarious." Then, as if realizing something, Sophia said, Yeah, maybe you're right. He's just joking around. Fine, next time I see him, I'll set him straight. Too bad you weren't there this morning. If you were, you'd see how weird he is, 1 minute loud and crazy, the next all moody and brooding. Impossible to figure out. Olivia nudged her friend. Be honest, are you having a love shock? Sophia frowned. Don't talk nonsense. I've never believed in love at first sight. It takes time to sink in. But why have you been hearing me talk about Ethan non-stop since this afternoon? He's handsome like a movie star. He's got that intense stare. He made me ride the elevator with him. He keeps teasing me. Sophia turned away, a little embarrassed. I just feel like he's strange. Olivia laughed. Strange can mean a lot of things. At least he's got your attention. There are plenty of ways to make someone notice you. Like what? Like how all 3 previous assistants ended up marrying into the Harrison family. And then Grace calls the old man her father-in-law crying on the phone. Sophia spun around, eyes wide. What if Grace is actually in love with Michael, not his son? Why do you always make things more complicated? Olivia gave up. Sophia pretended to be innocent. I'm not overthinking. There's definitely something weird about the Harrison family. I bet you on it. Olivia laughed. Here we go again, always betting. One day you'll lose and have to marry that guy for real. Sophia poked her in the ribs. Shut up! Shut up! They rolled around laughing on the bed. Eventually tired, they sat up, straightened their clothes, fixed the blankets and pillows, then lay back down. Olivia said, Okay, enough messing around. Sleep early. Tomorrow's your first day, you'll be exhausted. Gotta rest up. Sophia lay down, closed her eyes, but still whispered, Hey, what about your pilot guy? Olivia turned toward the wall. Don't bring him up, I don't want to talk about it. If he divorces his wife, would you take him? Olivia closed her eyes. I said I don't want to talk about it anymore. Sophia sighed. Fine, I won't. But who knows what we'll be like in 3 years? The future, no one can predict it. If only we had magic glasses to see ahead. Olivia didn't reply, she was already asleep. Sophia thought about Olivia's hopeless love with the pilot. Why do people always meet at the wrong time? Regret for meeting too late, or is it fate? Sophia drifted off into sleep. In her dream, she wore a wedding dress walking down the aisle. Michael Harrison took her hand and gave her away to the groom. Who was the groom? Sophia tried to see, but only noticed a golden Harrison glowing behind him. She turned and met Ethan Brooks' eyes full of anger, hatred, and pain. Sophia woke up startled, covered in sweat. She opened her eyes, the sky was just beginning to lighten. By the time she went to work, she had already forgotten the dream. That morning was hectic. First, Sophia had to meet all the senior staff, directors, VPs, head of finance, head of operations, and so on. She tried to observe and remember clearly there was definitely no guest relations department, only HR, with a chubby, short, bald manager who smiled like a laughing Buddha. All morning, Sophia was busy shaking hands and greeting people. Since she didn't have time to go downstairs, she didn't see Ethan. By afternoon, she was getting familiar with the actual work. Now she understood how massive Victory Enterprises really was. It included venture capital funds, software startups, AI labs, e-commerce platforms, and more. Products and investments spanned the globe, so finance and international relations were the busiest teams. After the busy afternoon, Sophia handled several calls, reviewed leftover documents from the previous assistant, organized and cleared everything until near quitting time. Only then did she carry a thick stack of files needing the CEO's signature to Michael's office. Michael was about to leave when he saw Sophia enter with the files. He quickly sat back down, flipped through each page, read a few drafts Sophia had prepared for replies, then looked up at her with approval. You're better than I expected. At this rate, you might stay here a long time. He picked up his pen and signed, then looked at Sophia again. Tired today, huh? It's just because you're still new. Once you get the rhythm, everything will feel light. Sophia didn't reply immediately. I heard none of your previous assistants lasted long. Michael gave her a sharp look. A good assistant has to learn the job first, not just listen to gossip. Sophia stubbornly. I have to listen to gossip when people tell me things. Michael frowned at Sophia, then smiled. Interesting. First time someone dared answer me so naturally. All right, but don't make it a habit. Sophia smiled, hugged the files, and left. She understood Michael was being tactful. He had protected her dignity. His words were a subtle reminder. Remember your role as a personal assistant, what it really is. In the end, you're just a high-level support. Ethan disappeared that whole day, the next day, and the day after. Everything went smoothly, no major difficulties, but Sophia felt something was missing. Even though they worked in the same building, it was so huge they might never meet. That was normal. But Ethan's absence felt strangely noticeable. On the morning of the 5th day, Sophia finally saw him. She arrived very early. The CEO and directors hadn't come yet. Sophia was organizing papers when the door opened. Ethan walked in. Today he had tousled hair, bright eyes, a cleaner white shirt than usual, and faded jeans. Somehow, the simpler Ethan dressed, the more handsome Sophia found him. He walked in casually and said, "Lunch today, my treat?" Sophia replied, "Sure, but where have you been hiding the last few days? I haven't seen you at all." "I wasn't hiding, I'm downstairs, you're upstairs. You're right next to the CEO. I'm just a nobody. Seeing you is harder than reaching the sky." Sophia laughed. "Don't be ridiculous, we're coworkers, why act like there are classes?" Ethan shrugged. "Girl, you're as naive as a high schooler. In this world, if you talk like that, you don't understand life much." There was a noise outside the door. Ethan looked startled. "Okay, I gotta disappear fast. If the CEO finds out, I'm done." Ethan stepped to the door, cracked it open, then turned back. "Remember, 12 o'clock. I'll wait for you at the main gate." He slipped out quickly. Right then the phone rang. Sophia hurried back to the CEO's office. "Come in." Sophia entered after knocking and hearing Michael's invitation. The CEO looked at her suspiciously. "Just now there was some whispering in your office. What was that?" Sophia immediately understood Ethan's fear. "Nothing, sir, just some employee from downstairs chatting nonsense." Michael frowned. "Downstairs employee? What's his name?" Sophia answered quickly. "I don't know, sir. Even if I did, you probably wouldn't know him. There are too many employees." Michael looked at Sophia. "Are you saying I don't care about my lower-level staff?" "Well, it's kind of true," Sophia said, then suddenly asked, "Do you know Jack?" Michael asked, "Who's Jack? One of my employees?" "Oh no." Michael thought, Jack. Sounds familiar. "Oh, right. He's probably one of the guys downstairs at the cafeteria, right? Do you know which department he's in?" Michael couldn't recall, suddenly got angry, and frowned. "What are you doing? Are you testing me?" "No, sir, what? Do I have to know Jack? Who is Jack? The company has over 10,000 employees. Do I have to know every single name and background? Go back to your office. Stop causing trouble here." Sophia bit her lip, feeling her pride hurt. She quietly left, thinking to herself, "He's still the CEO. He has all the power. He can scold lower employees however he wants. Stop causing trouble?" Was Sophia causing trouble? The feeling of humiliation made her cheeks burn. Just as she reached the door and grabbed the handle, she heard a soft voice behind her. "Wait a moment, Miss Sophia. Miss Sophia Lee." Sophia stopped, quickly wiped her eyes. "Are you crying?" Michael's voice was very gentle. Sophia refused quickly. "No, no." Then she turned, trying to look composed. The CEO looked concerned and said, "Working isn't like being at home. You have to think carefully and endure. Understand?" Sophia bowed her head in silence. "Now tell me." Sophia raised her head. "What is it, sir?" "Jack, the one you mentioned earlier. Which department is he in?" Sophia blushed, stammered nervously. "He's not in any department. It was just a name I made up. The company doesn't have anyone like that." Michael's eyes widened in surprise. He couldn't believe a low-level employee would joke so carelessly with him. But then he realized he had overreacted. Sophia thought it best to leave quickly. "Sir, I still have a lot of work to do. I need to get back to my office." Sophia hurried out. All morning she was nervous, worried the CEO would think she was annoying. But strangely, everything remained calm. Even when she brought more files to his office, Michael received her with a cool, composed look. Then lunchtime came. Sophia had about half an hour for lunch. She quickly tidied up, went downstairs. Ethan was waiting at the main gate. As soon as he saw Sophia, he quickly grabbed her hand and pulled her aside to avoid curious stares from coworkers. Then asked, "What do you want to eat?" Sophia looked at his white shirt and faded jeans, guessing his finances were tight. "Let's get noodles." The young man was perceptive. "Trying to save money for me? Come on, let's go for hot pot." Sophia was shocked. "Hot pot at noon? Are you crazy? Girls are all afraid of gaining weight. Let's keep it simple." Ethan shrugged. "Fine noodle soup with beef stew then. There's a famous spot around the corner. Food's amazing." So they headed to the noodle shop he chose, found a table in the open air. She ordered beef stew noodles, braised meat, sausage, crispy dough sticks, and a couple of side dishes. Then turned to ask, "Do you like spicy food?" "Yes, spicy makes it better." Ethan laughed, his eyes sparkling. "I should have guessed. Your personality has that same spicy kick." Sophia laughed too. "You're too perceptive, reading people in an instant." "Oh, calling me a dog now? Who said that? You're overthinking. When I look into your eyes, I know what you're thinking. Eyes tell everything, not just smart people, but bright-eyed ones too." "So, now you're saying I called you a cat?" Sophia covered her mouth and laughed. "You're really something, everything I say. You take as an insult. I must have a condition, better go see a psychiatrist." "Why?" Sophia looked surprised. Ethan deadpanned. "Because my senses are all messed up. Smell, sight, hearing. What others notice once, I notice 10 times. Like just now or right now, you smell amazing. Is that perfume?" Sophia said proudly. "You're wrong. I've never worn perfume in my life." Ethan leaned in mysteriously. "If I could do that too, I'd be dangerous." Sophia stared wide-eyed at Ethan. "You're always teasing. Can you talk seriously for once? From the first time we met, you've thrown me off. I can't tell what's real and what's a joke. Honestly, I came today to set you straight about that." Ethan feigned innocence. "Really? No wonder." Sophia was curious. "No wonder what?" "No wonder these past few days my mind's been all over the place. I can't eat, can't drink. I come to work but mess everything up. Distracted. Thinking about running upstairs to ask you. Turns out you came to fix me?" Sophia blinked, both annoyed and amused. "How do you do that? So hard to get you to be serious." She put on a stern face. "Talk properly." Ethan met her eyes. "Do you know this morning when I came to your office, the CEO chewed me out?" Ethan raised an eyebrow. "But he didn't even see me. I slipped out fast." "How did he know to yell at me?" "He heard." "What did he say?" Sophia recounted the morning incident in the CEO's office. As she told the story, she noticed Ethan looked delighted. He laughed, especially when she mentioned the made-up Jack. He clutched his stomach, laughing like never before. His face glowed with morning sunlight, no trace of gloom or melancholy. Sophia thought to herself, "Wow, this guy is really charming." When he finally stopped laughing, Ethan looked straight at Sophia, sighed, then stared down at his bowl of noodles. "What's wrong?" Ethan, startled, gave Sophia a strained smile. "Nothing. I just feel... Never mind. If I say it, you'll get mad." Sophia quickly said, "No, I won't. I hate when people leave things hanging. Smart people who can't speak clearly make fools like me half happy, half worried." Ethan suddenly sighed, then gave a faint smile. I suddenly realize I really like you a lot." Sophia blushed, looked down at her food, not daring to meet his eyes, afraid of what she might see. When she finished her bowl and looked up, Ethan's noodles were untouched. Sophia asked, "What's wrong? Why aren't you eating?" I'm not hungry." Sophia felt his gaze was strange. She said, "If something's bothering you, tell me. You see, I barely know anything about you. I only know your name, not your family, where you're from, nothing." Ethan seemed startled. He looked down at his bowl instead of at her. I don't like talking much about myself." Sophia asked. "Why? Do you still think I'm just the CEO's assistant and look down on you? I don't have that kind of class thinking. Your background doesn't matter to me." "Okay." He gathered his courage and looked up. "Then I'll tell you. It started out completely normal. My parents were fine. I have an older brother. I'm the youngest. My brother was very talented." He stopped abruptly, looked at Sophia. "Go on, what happened next? Did the family fall apart? Business fail? Or did things just get worse?" Ethan suddenly turned away. "Never mind. I won't say more." He looked at Sophia with sad, pleading eyes. "Can you be friends with me without knowing anything about my family background? If you keep asking, I might run away." Sophia looked at Ethan, placed a hand on his shoulder to comfort him. "I'll be your friend and won't ask anything more. So, can we keep having lunch together tomorrow?" "Yes." Ethan looked at Sophia, nodded, then said, "One day I'll tell you everything about my family." Sophia shook her head. "No need. It's not that important to me. I've already imagined worse things about you." "Like what?" "I imagined you homeless, sleeping under a bridge at night with a blanket, no parents, an orphan wandering far from home, a childhood full of hardship." Ethan looked at Sophia in surprise. "I never thought you had such a wild imagination. There's one more thing you haven't imagined." "What? What is it? Are you serious?" "Of course not. Also, I've assaulted 3 women." "Really?" Ethan shook his head. "Just kidding. But I had to add something for you to imagine." "Sophia, you're innocent, but you imagine too much. You don't understand evil very well. Thinking too much about it is bad for your mind." Then, glancing at his watch, Ethan said, "Time flies so fast, isn't it? We have to get back to work." Sophia suddenly asked, "Which department do you work in?" "I'm not on the official payroll, so I can be used anywhere. That's why I don't have my own desk. I just bounce between offices like a pinball." Sophia was surprised. "There's such a position?" "Yes, because you don't understand the company structure yet. If you don't believe me, ask the CEO if there's anyone like me." Sophia thought for a moment, then said, "Ethan, I'm suspicious." "Of what? I think you're not even an employee of this company. This building has dozens of companies. Which one do you really work for?" Ethan laughed. "Really?" He paid the bill, then pulled Sophia outside. "You're guessing again. Who knows, maybe later you'll imagine I'm the CEO of some other company." Sophia stared hard, but that guess didn't feel right. Ethan laughed. "Be careful. Sometimes people are more alike than you think. Of everyone I know, you have the richest imagination." Once back inside the building, Ethan walked Sophia to the elevator. "Too much work now. See you tomorrow, Miss Imagination." Sophia was surprised. "Why aren't you coming upstairs?" "Why?" But she nodded and smiled at him. "Yes, see you tomorrow, strange man." And so it continued for several days. Sophia and Ethan always went out for lunch. Now, it wasn't just the noodle place. They tried other spots nearby. Ethan still kept his background secret. Sophia didn't press. Seeing his worn clothes and how he hesitated when paying, Sophia felt sympathetic and sometimes insisted on paying. Ethan never refused. Gradually, Sophia felt drawn to him. The casual attitude, the teasing, the brooding gaze of Ethan acted like a magnet pulling her in. "Oh, Ethan Brooks," Ethan echoed deep in Sophia's heart, a name that lingered in her mind, impossible to erase even during work hours. Sophia still thought of him. The assistant job fell into rhythm, as Michael had said. Everything ran smoothly, no longer overwhelming like the beginning. The biggest challenge now wasn't drafting emails, but scheduling appointments and sorting visitors. Sophia had to manage access to Michael, but he often had surprise guests. For example, a few days ago, the CEO's wife, Victoria, dropped by. Before that, Sophia had imagined the CEO's wife would be arrogant and difficult, but surprisingly, she was elegant, refined, gentle, not young anymore, but still beautiful in the captivating way of a mature woman, kind and graceful. That day, Michael was busy with a foreign client negotiating a major deal, so Victoria stayed in Sophia's office for a long time, chatting a lot. She always had a smile on her lips, which melted away all of Sophia's nervousness. She called Sophia so naturally, like an aunt calling her niece. "Sophia, my husband talks about you a lot. He says you're smart and quick. Coming here today was a surprise. I didn't expect you to be so young, pretty, and kind." Sophia said, "Ma'am, I'm not that kind or pretty. The CEO keeps warning me to remember my place." Victoria looked surprised. "He said that? He actually told you that?" Sophia smiled. "No, not directly, he just hinted." Victoria looked delighted. Not only smart, but perceptive too. Being a personal assistant isn't low class, you're the right hand of the CEO. Then she gave a radiant smile. My God, Sophia thought, if she was this beautiful now, how stunning must she have been when young? "My name is Victoria Harrison. 20-something years ago, I was Michael's personal assistant too." Sophia was startled and stared at the CEO's wife. Did she know? Back then, the company was just a small office with only 3 employees total. Victoria looked at Sophia with a sweet smile. "Work hard. My husband is very strict, but he loves people. Even now, he still remembers those early struggling days when we couldn't even afford 3 meals. That's why he loves helping the poor, the young, and those who try hard. It's not just help, he admires progress. And so do I." Sophia listened, her heart suddenly thinking of Ethan. She wondered if Michael would help Ethan too. She guessed if Ethan were a real employee, Michael would surely know him. The next day, Sophia brought up Ethan to Michael. "Sir, do you know an employee named Ethan Brooks?" Michael seemed startled but quickly composed himself, tilting his head and thought, "Is he that tall? Lanky guy who wanders around from place to place?" Sophia blushed clearly. The CEO looked down on Ethan by calling him that. She felt very upset. "Yes, sort of. Does he work for our company?" Michael frowned. "Are you testing me again? Using tricks?" Sophia blushed. "No, sir. I was just curious." Michael thought, "He's an outsider." Sophia was puzzled. "Outsider?" Michael said, "Yes, meaning he's not on our official payroll, but occasionally we use him. He's talented, but he can't stay still in one place." Sophia felt relieved. So Ethan hadn't lied. She wanted to ask Michael to help Ethan, but seeing the CEO's probing eyes, she held back. There was something scrutinizing in that gaze. Michael said, "You seem quite close to Ethan. Be careful, you're new to the world. Don't be too open with men." Sophia reacted immediately. "My friendships have nothing to do with being an assistant." Michael looked sharply at Sophia. "Agreed, it doesn't. So, have you fallen for him yet?" "That's none of your business." Michael said, "Watch out. Too fast isn't good. I advise you to keep your eyes wide open. Observe people carefully before deciding." Sophia didn't care, turned to leave, but he seemed to imply Ethan was a playboy. "I never said that." Michael lit a cigarette. Sophia said unhappily, "But I understand what you mean." Michael cleared his throat. "Anything else to report?" Sophia knew that was a polite dismissal. She walked quickly out the door, still upset inside. The next lunch, Sophia still ate with Ethan, but deliberately avoided mentioning the meeting with the CEO. She was afraid it would hurt his pride. Observe carefully before deciding. Michael's words kept echoing in her head, making Sophia glance at Ethan from time to time. "What's wrong today? Why do you keep looking?" Sophia covered. "Nothing, just your curly hair looks like dog fur." Is Sophia the president of the Animal Appreciation Club now? "What do you mean? I feel like you always bring up cats and dogs." Sophia was annoyed. "Honestly, I'd rather you were a dog or cat, at least then no one would notice." Ethan looked startled. "Who's noticing me?" Sophia shook her head. "Nothing really. Someone just told me to be careful with you." Ethan paused. "Maybe the person who warned you has feelings for you." Sophia's eyes widened. She was startled, thinking back to her first day applying, thinking of Michael and his wife. No, that couldn't be. Sophia shook her head. then thought about the special position of personal assistants in the company. Michael married his first assistant. The previous one, people collect stamps, antiques, butterflies. This family collects assistants. That lunch, they talked very little. Ethan seemed lost in thought. He doodled on a napkin with his pen. Sophia leaned over and saw the words, "A love that cannot be forgotten." Her heart skipped a beat. "What are you writing?" The young man blushed, looked at the paper, then laughed. "Do you know the saying, tying your own noose?" "Yes." Ethan sighed. "That's how it is, especially in love. People tie themselves up like that." Sophia glanced quickly at Ethan. Today he looked serious. "Why?" Seeing his furrowed brows, Sophia found it funny. She lifted her iced tea. "Strange. Your usual carefree attitude is gone. Do you have something on your mind?" Ethan looked up startled. "What? What are you thinking?" He reached out and held Sophia's hand. He started to speak, stopped, started again, hesitated. Finally, Ethan said, This afternoon. Can I walk you home? There's something I need to tell you." For some reason, Sophia felt anxious. Her intuition told her the friendship between them was entering a brilliant but uncertain phase. What would the future be? Dark or bright? Who could know? The sky seemed overcast, maybe rain was coming. Sophia was confused, but what must come will come. She had to face it, be brave, and wait. Sophia looked at Ethan. "Okay. After work this afternoon, I'll wait for you. If you want, I'll introduce you to Olivia." Ethan gave a light smile, then muttered, "I'm afraid once the mask comes off, Ethan Brooks will be nothing, and that would be the real tragedy." Sophia didn't hear clearly. "What did you say?" "Oh, nothing." They left the restaurant and headed back to the office. Neither spoke a word on the way. Only when they were about to part did Ethan say, 5 p.m. "I'll wait for you at the corner by the coffee shop." "The corner?" "Yes, the front of the building is too crowded. People stare, it's annoying. And anyway, you're the CEO's personal assistant now." That afternoon, they thought they'd go home first, then whatever was coming would come. No one expected that right there in the luxurious black SUV. Sophia willingly gave herself to a moment of passion that shook heaven and earth. And of course, it couldn't be said that Sophia offered her priceless treasure to Ethan. She was no longer that innocent girl. That had been lost the moment she was selected and became the assistant. The one who received that privilege was none other than CEO Michael Harrison, but for Sophia back then, it was only a transaction for the job. True love, she only felt it when she met Ethan Brooks. And that's where our story ends. Thank you for listening.